This right here, the intelligent tracking module, is why the DJI RS5 is probably going to be the end for all other gimbals. It actually transforms the new 1.8-inch touchscreen into a video monitor and can project what the tracking module sees and ultimately what the camera mounted on the gimbal sees. It then lets you select an object or person to track with a single touch. It locks onto and keeps the subject in the center of the frame wherever the gimbal is placed, whether running alongside or low down camera angles where framing accuracy would otherwise be impossible to achieve. Now, of course, this is not new technology. We've seen this before on the likes of the Osmo Mobile 7P, but having this as a dedicated feature on a professional level gimbal for cinema cameras is kind of a game changer. And I don't know a single filmmaker who wouldn't want this kind of technology as part of their toolkit. Right, so we're going to have a play with this intelligent tracking module. We're going to swipe left on the screen to activate the video input, and I'm going to find a decent place in the frame using the back of the Sony camera and start tracking with the flat hand. And now it should start following me wherever I go, where I place myself in the frame. And let's start recording using the Bluetooth technology. And now we're recording on the big Sony camera with that high resolution, beautiful image. And let's reposition myself in the frame to a rule of thirds. And hopefully it will keep me where I place myself. So we've got this set to fast responsiveness, so it's pretty quick. Try not to slip over on this wet floor. Let's see how far I can be. 8-9 meters away, still got me. Let's go all the way over here. So what we've just filmed with the hand gestures is super useful for the solo content creator's perspective. But what about if we wanted to use this intelligent tracking module from behind the camera as the gimbal operator? So it's very straightforward. We simply swipe right on the screen to activate the video input from the module on the top, and then we have the menu in the bottom left corner, and now we have a few options. The active track speed, which I recommend having set to medium speed for the majority of filming situations. At the bottom of the menu, we can enter camera view calibration, which allows you to set the center point to match what your actual camera sees on the back of the screen. Let's OK that. And finally, composition is going to keep the current framing that we previously set. However, most of the time you're going to want to track a subject in the center of the frame. So let's go with that. And then you're ready to go. If you want to track a human subject, then the module is going to automatically recognize that person or vehicles or pets, etc. Once you've composed your shot how you want it, simply tap on the subject that the module has identified and the RS5 gimbal grabs onto it like glue. Then you're free to start recording. And the tracking capabilities are truly remarkable. It makes framing so much easier, and as the operator, you don't even need to be looking at the camera. So instead of the camera operator walking backwards and endangering themselves, he can set his tracking and framing using the module and then get perfectly composed footage while not walking into anything. Fast-moving subjects where camera operators need to be moving at pace really exhibit tracking accuracy and the new improved 5th generation stability algorithm, which provides even smoother footage. Tracking other objects can be achieved by drawing a square around it, latching onto even unusual objects seem pretty reliable. The new electronic briefcase handle with dual functionality includes a second joystick, mode, and record button. Exploring multi-angle shooting like low-slung camera operation takes the RS5 to an elite level all by itself. Now, all of this is possible because of the NATO RSA communication port on the side here, which accepts the electronic briefcase handle. Lock it into place from below and adjust the handle to your preference. So once powered up, you can control the gimbal left-handed or right-handed. It even has a trigger button for recentering the gimbal or entering selfie mode. The handle even has a cold shoe mount for attaching things like external video monitors for a more professional setup, perfect for small studios. So inside this meaty battery grip is a new standard battery which can be fully charged in just 1 hour. It also has an extended runtime of 14 hours. Now, just to put that in comparison with its predecessor, this new RS5 can charge 60% quicker than the RS4 and has 2 hours extra of runtime. So in a real world scenario, if you have a full day shoot consisting of say 12 hours on set, you could throw this on charge in your lunch break and be fully loaded to take you through until you wrap at the end of the day. No other gimbal in this weight class has that kind of performance. So Z-axis indicator, this is a new feature incorporated into this bigger touch screen. It has a green, amber and red color system to assist the gimbal user in correct operation. When the indicator turns red, it warns the operator of putting too much pressure on the gimbal motors and to adjust your gait and technique for smoother operation. With the electronic briefcase handle, achieving fluid motion will earn you a green indicator, resulting in much cleaner footage. Now, I've used a lot of gimbals over the past 5 or 6 years, even weighted analog stabilizers, which can knacker you out in a matter of seconds. And if there is one common consistent complaint I have with gimbals, it's time-consuming balancing and calibration. Then came along the RS4 with its Teflon-coated axis arms for smoother, less jerky adjustments. And this was a brilliant idea. It meant metal on metal would glide rather than snag. Well, the RS5 has gone even one step further with fine tuning knobs on every axis arm along with those Teflon interlayers, which makes balancing a heavy payload up to 3 kilograms quicker, easier and virtually foolproof. And I'm no fool. Now, balancing the gimbal with these fine tuning knobs is just a world of difference compared to older generations of the RS series. Finding that sweet spot takes a fraction of the time and little effort. Gliding into position along those Teflon interlayers. And each axis has them, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The predecessor, the RS4, only had fine tuning on the base plate here. And couple this with the brilliant auto locking and unlocking function found on those axes, you could be up and running in no time, ensuring you never miss a shot. Now, native vertical shooting comes as standard on the RS5. Detaching from the tilt axis and reattaching vertically requires a quick rebalance depending on your camera and lens combo. Dedicated social media content is all the rage right now, so the more professional it looks, the better the return. So final thoughts on the DJI RS5. I've been using this now for the best part of 6 weeks and it's genuinely knocked my socks off. The footage coming out of my camera mounted on this thing is easily the smoothest I've been able to achieve. Whatever they've done to the new stability algorithm 5th generation is quite brilliant, and the tracking module, that's a game changer. Not just for tracking humans, pets or vehicles, but virtually any subject you tell it to lock onto. You do feel utterly safe with this gimbal, and the Bluetooth connection just works every time you switch the camera on. It's seamless and quick. Let's see how quick. So camera on, 1, 2, Bluetooth recording. Really handy having it on the briefcase handle as well. Would I buy the DJI RS5 gimbal? I'd probably buy 5, and it's very difficult to see how they could improve on something that is so good.